A very, very warm good afternoon to my YouTube channel, Arun Foot. It is the Durand Cup. Yes, it's the first game that is being here live from Durand Cup. It is Mohun Bagan Supergiant versus East Bengal FC. So we're looking forward, hopefully, to an interesting, exciting game of football with the two Kolkata Giants facing each other. And at the start of a live watch along, as I always like to do, if you haven't, do like, do share, do subscribe to the channel and to the platform, and support our own foot here as well. Thank you as always for that. And let's once we are done, let's quickly get towards the lineups of the two teams. Let me quickly see. Um, on the one side, East Bengal FC have Prabhukan Singh Gill in goal, Anwar Ali as captain, Lal Chungnunga, Rohit Kumar with his debut for East Bengal, Edmund Lal Rindika, David Marr, Rohit Danu with his debut for the Red and Gold, Jeeksan Singh, J. Gupta, Bipin Singh, and Sandeep Mandi also with his debut in Red and Gold colors. Pubala Chempa, Pubala Chempa, Bhatt, P. Vishnu, Danny Ramirez, Jason TK, Gobroti, Naram Sanga, Basim Rashid, Mark Zo, and Gaurav Shaw as the second goalkeeper on the bench. Meanwhile, Mohun Bagan, Super Giant, Vishal Keth in goal, Rahul Bheke, Anirudh Thapa, Liston Kolaso, Manvir Singh, Shubhashish Bose as captain, Kian Nasiri, Sal Abdul Samad, Abhi Mite, Apuya Ralte, and Mehtab Singh. While they have on bench, Shan Banerjee, Abhishek Suryavanshi, Alberto, Deepak Tangri, Zahid as the number two goalkeeper, Dipendra Vishash, Alex Shaji, Robi Lal, Dejan Drazic, and Suhail Ahmed Bhatt. So that is what is the lineup so far. Hi, Mayank. I'm also in Europe. Can you please tell me where I can watch the Durand Cup here? Mayank, not via something which is sort of where I can watch it. There is the possibility, so to say, to watch it. The game hasn't kicked off so far. Sorry, that's it's a bit of a problem. So I'm very careful at sharing platforms. What's your opinion on young Indian players joining third division Rams and led by the Gulf United boy is born in that setup, Broski, so that's a different story. So he's been in that setup in the United Arab Emirates. So therefore, for me to tell you, what it is, what is not, is very very difficult. In the sense of it's the same of some of these kids who have been playing in the UAE and the 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 Qatar system. About the young player who's come through the system at Srini Deccan, Al Rams. Very interesting to see if he can do something over there or not. Again, always the question mark which is there about players. And for me, it's always a question: what can a player do? But any player going abroad, trying his luck over there, is always, in my opinion, is always a good thing to do. And to me, that's one of those things that I've always said. What I've always said, that whoever gets a chance to go abroad to try his luck. Um, therefore, for me, that's always an interesting thing. So therefore, for me, yeah, we'll have to wait and see what happens between these two teams. Both the teams will be interesting to see what they play. What do you think? Who do you think has a better coach and better team between one and East Bengal in terms of coach, player, players, coach playing style, players according to coach style of player foreigners? Mank, we are still in the transfer period. I think it's not done. East Bengal Football Club are also in a sort of rebuilding phase. You know, and so therefore for me, that's going to be a big question. I don't have an answer for you for that. To me, the question now is what corner East Bengal. So for me, the most important thing is if I compare the two teams, at this stage, and we are on the 25th of July. We're not in proper season. If you ask me that way, then East Bengal have the better coach. Habas has been the most successful coach in the Indian system, be it ISL, I League, over the last 12 years. Then Perez had an interesting season. I think he could have done more with his team. I might be wrong, but my feeling is that that team should have potentially done more, achieved more. So therefore, for me, that's a question which can and needs to be asked. On the team front, I think Mohun Bagan has a much more depth of a team at this moment. So therefore, for me, that's something which has to be seen and checked. And yeah, therefore that's one of those things with East Bengal having a goal kick. Interesting to see. So this derby again, very early in the season, mixed team, no foreigners, so to say, for both the teams to start off with, and I think both the coaches want to see their players and want to see what is possible with the setup. That will be very interesting to see, and and to me, yeah, it's a real first test, and what the two teams can do, and yeah. So for me, good. How do you see FC Goa hiring a Gora Mangi as head coach? Man, chance for Mangi in East Bengal. Um, so for me, it's a big chance for him. Mangi has been now a coach for what, 7 8 years, but only as an assistant. First at FC Bangalore United under Richard Hood, and then at the Gauze for the last 4 years. And it's a big step up on one side. But Mangi has always been a smart boy, um, smart kid in the younger years. And yeah, that will be very interesting to see how he sort of is able to get everything going for himself. I'm interested to see again. Yeah, and with the ball going here and there between the two teams at the moment. 6 minutes on the clock. So for me, Mangi going um, mm, to Goa is a big step, yes, but as a head coach. But interested to see if he succeeds or not. Goa will have a better team, I think, overall this season with more foreigners, more settled, and let's see. Please, they're taking the initial go run like other Indian players who just want to stay in ASEP. Plus, he's just 21. If he improves, he's going to play for UAE top division to speak. Broski, he's in the third tier. I've heard little to nothing about the boy from an I League perspective, so therefore I don't even know what the standard of the boy is. And again, you're talking about the other one. The other one has come through the UAE system, so therefore don't consider him he's an NRI in that way. So therefore, yeah, that needs to be kept in mind. And yeah, Mohun Bagan in attack, but well, that's the point to me. Yeah, so we need to keep that in mind as per se, where the players. Um, um, Therefore, that's the thing we need to keep in mind in regard to players. Right. That's solely focused on, as I said, I've spoken about the lineups, both the teams so far. East Bengal mainly with the ball, Mohun Bagan with nothing. Um, so that's the thing. You must have seen Goman in his prime days as a player. If I'm not wrong, he was also a captain at 70% senior national team caps was technical. And more like a Sandesh Chingan. More like a Sandesh. I've known Mangi since I think he was 15 at the time with the Indian under 17s in 2002. TFA days as well. Yeah, always hardworking. Wasn't always the first kid you'd pick, but been very, very good in his development over the years. Right, Mohun Bagan this time trying to attack. And what shot is off target? 8+ minutes on the clock between the two Kolkata Giants in the Durand Cup at the Saltlake Stadium. Both the teams, of course, looking to see what they can achieve in this season opener, and I say this always in such games. Um, there is no favorite for me in these kind of games. In Derby, I'm with East Bengal. Raj, welcome to the club. Me as well. But again, most East Bengal fans wouldn't believe it, most probably. Um, so, goal kick for East Bengal. Nearly 10 minutes on the clock. Prabsukan to take it. And both the teams trying to settle down, trying to figure out what to do, not to do early on. Quickly, once more, the lineups of the two teams. East Bengal with Prabsukan Singh Gill, Anwar Ali, Lalchung Nunga, Rohit Kumar, Edmund Arandika, David Amar, Rohit Danu, Jeekson Singh, Jay Gupta, Bipin Singh, and Sandeep Mandi. So an all-Indian lineup. The same can be said about Mohun Bagan. Vishal Keth, Rahul Beke, Anirudh Thapa, Liston Colasso, Manvir Singh, Shubhashish Bose, Kian Nasiri, Sal Abdul Samad, Abhi Mite, Apuya Ralte, and Mehtab Singh. So those the starting lineups for the two teams with Mohun Bagan looking a little bit more dangerous in the first few minutes. Um, Even though the first chance XG value, both the teams are a big zero so far because there have been no chances really at both ends. And interesting to see what they do. And but is it true that you went to Olympic Association hit Bhavan to recover sports passports? The performance is true. Roski, I did not go specifically for the sports passport. I had matters regarding handball to go, and I've been to the Olympic Bhavan a few times in the last few years. We did speak about it, but again, they're working on it. Let me say there's that, right? Nothing more, nothing less. A lot of people are talking about it. A lot of people are spreading wrong information about things as well. I have to be very honest with you. But I've said that clearly now a number of times that let the Olympic Association, let the federation work on things, and then we will see how things progress. Olympic Association as well as the Sports Ministry are working on things, and to me that's the most important thing. Everything else for you and me is not to discuss, and yeah, those are some of the realities of where we stand at this moment in time, right? East Bengal now in their attack. Um, Ball going hence and forth with Darren Gold ball in midfield. And a lot of playing to the left rather than to the right. Right? So therefore that keeps needs to be kept in mind. Indonesia allowed sports passport. Yeah, but Indonesia has done everything what they did and needed to do. They handed out passports if they need be, and now I think the one other player came around, and mm, that is something which is there. East Bengal with young Indian boys seems very interesting team. Yeah, and with Habas in there, who knows first corner for Mon Magan after no more than 13 minutes. So therefore, interesting team, but um, yeah, once the foreigners come in, I don't know how many of these young players will play. So therefore, that needs to be kept in mind when you are talking about those young players for these Bengal players. Uh, so that is one of those things which are there. It's not really being streamed outside of India, Prithviraj, at the moment. So that's with Sony Live. If you have a Sony Live account, I don't know, someone has it, you can use that as well. Right, Mohun Bagan forced the corner, trying to force it, but again, East Bengal in the way. Interestingly, after having more of the ball, seems like Mohun Bagan now have had the ball, but East Bengal now back with possession in the midfield. That's a lot of the ball in the middle of the park. We have to see what happens. And, Mohun Bagan with the ball. Seems to be a lot of action on that right wing of Mohun Bagan, left wing of East Bengal. Difficult. But again, good thing Sporting Club Delhi is signing very young Indian prospects. Broski, let's see. Again, they wanted to do some stuff. Not only young, signing of Namte, in my opinion, is a good signing. One of the better ones from the under 23s. Was also one player that I think East Bengal were targeting. So it's interesting to see some of the boys that East Bengal, Mohun Bagan have targeted have not signed for them. That's a good step, in my opinion, by some of these players. And there's now Mohun Bagan in attack once more. But so far it's a messy game. No clear control in the middle of the park. And therefore, that is one of those things that one needs to keep in mind. Mohun Bagan, East Bengal. Again, interesting. It was registered Mohun Bagan was East Bengal. Now it's listed East Bengal was Mohun Bagan. Um, Mohun Bagan with more than 60% of ball possession, putting pressure on the red and gold, or trying to, not really putting pressure on the red and gold. That's been the concern of the two teams, and trying to do whatever is needed. Mohun Bagan. Yep. Sorry, my video quality is so bad. I'm just reloading. Yep. Sorry, I'm just trying to reconnect to the game. My time stands 18:45. But again, my stream is stuck. So that is my problem. Sorry. I have to tell you what's happening, but my stream is not working at the moment. Yeah, it does happen. Um, 20 minutes gone. More of the possession. And I have little to tell you at the moment because, as I told you, the stream is not working. So sorry if I'm trying to keep you updated, but I'll have to uh, go through this like this. And that sometimes is the problem. 21 plus minutes goalless at the Salt Lake Stadium or Yuva Bharti Kirangan. With one corner to both the teams. Mohun with nearly 70% ball possession. They've got 69 to be precise, meaning that the green and maroon have been a little better in their having the ball. Have they had more of the game? That's again always a question which can be debated, discussed. And on the other end, yeah, East Bengal without their crucial foreigners is a different team altogether. Big test. Anwar at the back as not really him, but for Jay Gupta, Sandeep Mandi, Chununga in midfield, Rohit, Kumar with Jackson, David Amar up front, Edmund as a number 10, Bipin and Rohit Danu on the wings. Mohun Bagan with a little bit more of an experienced, settled team. Vishal Kelt at the back, Abhimitai on the right, Shubhashish Bose on the left, Rahul Beke, Mehtab Singh, formerly with Mumbai City at the back, Apuya alone can bank on the support of Hapa, Kian, Liston, Sahal, and Manvir up front. And that's clearly visible. And but again, yep, the World Cup is over. The Indian football season is on. And a big talking point, I think Ashish Negi broke it yesterday. Heard that a few days back that Brazil might be willing to come and play in India. And there's a crazy one, which I'll most probably speak about tomorrow. Let's see. I'm new to football here, so FIFA, why aren't our players relying on small passes more forward? They make long passes in panic, am I right? Mr. Blue, it's not panic. Small passes and combination play and all. Again, if your technique is you're not good enough, your football basics, which I find very often is a problem with our players, then they rely on trying to get rid of the ball. That is sometimes the mentality of our players, rather than being putting myself in danger. Let's get rid of the ball, and and then they clear long. Don't forget, this is the first game of the season for both these teams, for both these setups. Also, both coaches are new, and so therefore, for me, yeah, an interesting, exciting game of football. Um, and But again, if you've just watched the World Cup, you've seen a different level of football, different quality of football, which at the moment you will not be able to see in Indian football. Let's be very, very honest about that. There's a massive gap of quality between Indian football and international football. So that has to be said very, very honestly, on that front. And therefore, again, our players do not have that level of quality, um, in regard to what you will see at international level. So that's sadly an honest assessment from my side, on that. And yeah, therefore that's the way it is. Right. As I'm struggling with the map, but I'm still trying to keep it going. Um, Still goalless in Kolkata. Um, do watch my the short videos that I try and make. Did something on Jurgen Klopp today, which I found very, very important to do. Yesterday, Klopp announced as new Germany manager, with a lot of hype around it. And yeah, that was one thing. There a lot of stuff around Indian football in the last few days, so do watch that also. Um, did something yesterday about can Indian football utilize the hype created by the FIFA World Cup, and yeah, and therefore that is something. And yeah, that has to be kept in mind. And so do watch that. And that is something. Chennai has made some very interesting signings. How their ISL preparation is going. The FIFA World Cup number of stories. Manuel Marquez signing as Mumbai City head coach. Something which sadly didn't get that much views, but I was very interested to share was Indians are passionate about the game of football, but not about Indian football. So that is something of a story that I liked a lot, but not much interest, sadly. So do watch that as well, and other stories during the World Cup and all the other things as well. So thank you as always, guys, for sharing and watching. And I would say how much difference there quite to Australia and New Zealand. I think Australia is much second corner for East Bengal. Australia is much stronger than New Zealand. Let's be very clear about that. East Bengal is not as competitive. So East Bengal, I'm saying, East Bengal, Mohun Bagan as well, but um, New Zealand is not as competitive. Australia, a lot of their top players play in Europe, um, and therefore that's something which is said. And the Australian quality, the Australian league is better than that of New Zealand as well. With now 27 plus minutes, still goalless at the Salt Lake Stadium. Nothing much to speak about. 2-1 corners for East Bengal, but Mohun Bagan with more of the ball, and that is that. Uh, Kelan, it is on the Sony network, as well as on Sony Live. So those are the platforms where you can watch the game. Um, yeah, so therefore, if you want to, do watch it there. Um, so therefore, those are the realities of where we stand. Goalless at the Salt Lake Stadium between Mohun Bagan and East Bengal. The season's first Kolkata derby, the Durand Cup, also starting with the derby. Looking at the respective groups. Tomorrow, Indian Army versus Samaleshwari, mm, and Jamshedpur FC versus the Sri Lankan Army in Ranchi. And then, yeah, the tournament goes on. And we'll see who wins the respective groups and which two of the six teams finish best second to qualify for the knockout quarterfinals. Limited things. East Bengal's had now a little bit more of the ball in the last few minutes. Not much to speak about. Um, Bagan look a little bit more polished, have a little bit more experience also in their ranks. One has to be honest about that. But things are evening out in the middle of the park. 29 minutes on the clock, and it's another goal kick for East Bengal. Prabhsupan to take it. Interesting to see Prabhsupan Singhel getting competition in goal from Purba Lachempa, who's left Mumbai City for the Kolkata Giants after a very, very long, very, very successful spell with the Islanders. And that will be very interesting to see what happens on that front. And that is something which makes it so interesting. Nearly half an hour played. Both the teams try to control proceedings, unable to really control the ball much. As has been said, a lot of I'll kick it forward and hope something happens, something works for me, works for us. And that is, at the moment, sadly, the reality of the game. With of the ball, yeah, no, it's total 3 shots, two for Mohun Bagan, one for East Bengal. None on target so far. 52 to 48% ball possession for the Mariners. And yeah, does weather play a role in the performance and how our armed forces teams? Yeah, weather 100% plays a role in the way football is played in India. Um, Not only in India, I think around the world, weather plays a role wherever you're playing. So that should not be discounted in any way. Um, and therefore, that is something of a reality. And so therefore, weather is surely something which has an impact on the game. And yeah, so that's that. And armed forces, army teams, always fit guys. Uh, uh, but again, a lot of them either are on the older side or some of the younger ones have played at some level, but aren't of the level that is needed today. So therefore, those are some of the realities about the army teams. Hey Akash, I know it is Durand Cup opening game. Yes, it is the opener, and of course, how could it be different? It's Mohun Bagan versus East Bengal in Derby. Watching World Cup really wiped out Indian football from my brain. Akash, I think everybody, I realized it in the last week because I was doing Indian football and more discussions that people were asking about Durand Cup. Otherwise, I would have forgotten that. Um, so, so, so therefore, that's the thing. And therefore, yeah, welcome back to the Indian football season. The ISL matters are still unsolved, but we're still, as the gameplay players look fit. I don't have access to what you're watching. Akash, game is, yeah. Let's if we watch the World Cup, let's not talk about it. Players look okay, nothing special. But again, I'm struggling now with my live stream as well. Sorry, because and yeah, so that's that. And yeah, not the most exciting game. Again, the organizers might think it's smart to start with the derby, but I don't think it is smart to start with derby. And and so therefore, that's the reality of things of where we are right now. Right, it's still goalless, and free kick for the Mariners. Again, ball position quite even, but in advantage just by a few percentage points for Mohun Bagan. And yeah, it's not been too exciting. Hi, Blue. Um, that's the reality of the game. But yeah, we are where we are. It's that time of the year where the game has to be played, and therefore, let's wait and see what happens between these two. Mm, with Mohun Bagan, yeah, looking a little bit more settled to me than East Bengal. Quickly, once more, the starting lineups. Both teams with an all Indian lineup. Prasun Singhil, Anwar Ali as captain, Lal Chungunga, Rohit Kumar makes his debut, Edmund Lal Rindika, David Marr, Rohit Danu with his debut, Jigson Singh, Jay Gupta, Bipin Singh, and Sandeep Mandi in the starting lineup, while Mohun Bagan with Vishal Khet, Rahul Bheke makes his debut for Mohun Bagan, Anirudh Thapa, Liston Kolaso, Manvir Singh, Shubhashish Bose, Kian Nasiri, Sal Abdul Samad, Abhimita Apuya Ralte, and Mehtab Singh. So only one debutant for the Mariners, and the 135th edition of the Durand Cup. You know, so Raghunar says David's Asian to choose a side. Mr. Blue, it depends. Normally, if you know about the derby, then you would know that you're born to support one of the clubs. Either you support Mohun Bagan or you support East Bengal. Family wise, right? The Mohun Bagan is the club of the people from Kolkata or the people from West Bengal, and East Bengal, as the name says, is that of the people who have shifted towards West Bengal from East Bengal forcefully or by their own will over the decades, and that's why East Bengal is the club, so to say, of the people, of a lot of people who used to, or the family roots are in what is now Bangladesh. Yellow card for Mohun Bagan in the 36th minute, and therefore for me that's the way. And again, you again now, do you like a team? Do you like the style? Do you like the way they operate? They win. That's, it's up to you. Habas playing like Habas, of course. Again, Blue, if you are surprised that Habas plays in a certain way, or if anyone is surprised that he wants to play in a certain way, you shouldn't be, because that's my thinking. I've always said that, be it with Habas, be it with Khalid, you know what you're going to get. You're not going to get free flowing football, attacking football. It is something. It's like last season we could have had that discussion with Mohun Bagan, super giant, in regard to Lobera, because for the first time I've seen Sergio Lobera with a team, coaching a team on Indian shores, where his team was not sort of playing the Habas football Habas football, the Lobera football that we were used to. So therefore, from that perspective, yeah, it's always something which um, shouldn't be um, shouldn't be surprised, so to say, because that's the way they play. Third corner for East Bengal. So therefore, that's something which is very, very normal. If Senor Habas, one of his teams is playing, then they're going to be a little bit more defensive minded, a little bit more looking after their own structure. That's the way he coaches. So he has been like this. So therefore, for me, yeah, it's something that's the way he does it, in his way and style. All right. Its blood relation, natives of western part of Bengal country, West Bengal support Monwa, and Hindu Bengal is eastern Bengal, modern Bangladesh, who came as refugees, many support East Bengal. Yeah, Akash, very good. And if you're a Muslim, normally as a Bengali, you would support Mohammedan Sporting. So that's the third team in that equation. Normally we would say, I guess those days are gone, but um, that's the way we see it. And yeah, so therefore, it's very even. I think today's Mono playing better than last year, Lovera, except first few matches. Yeah. Um, so that's also true. But um, as I said, the Lobera team didn't convince me. Really, so for me, that was something which I thought was very interesting uh, to see. Um, and yeah, so therefore for me, um, yeah, Mohun Bagan had the best squad last season, should have won the ISL, but they didn't. So therefore, then that question, of course, can be raised about him and his team. But it needs to remember Islam was established way before partition due to ego problems between rich Bhadraoks of Kolkata and rich Jamindas of East Bengal. Akash, if you want to, go deeper into the topic, there's a lot I think that one would need to read up to understand the history of the club. Again, how I explained it is very simplified. And again, as you rightly say, if we go way deeper into this conversation, then things would be much more different, because as you then add Hindu refugees took Islam as a ray of hope and identity, they thought it represents their struggle, their identity, their aspirations. Very, very true. And still, that struggle feeling is there with a lot of East Bengal fans, about, yeah. Who are the best Indian strikers focus in coming season months? I've only heard of Vijay and Baichung Sunil. Any new ones? Yeah, the new ones. That's Mr. Blue. That's the question of all questions. When we talk about strikers in an Indian football context, there is none where I would say, XYZ should be the striker, second corner. Meanwhile, for Mohun Bagan, 41 minutes on the clock, still goalless. So for me, I don't have a new striker of the on the blocks where it's say, XYZ, that's the one for you to follow. There are some of the boys who play as strikers or as wingers, at least for their clubs. If you ask me, then someone like Rahim Ali, for example, currently still with Udisha FC. Let's see if he stays. He could be someone to follow. Mm, Edmund, the number 10 for East Bengal, could be someone to follow, but Edmund to me is not an out and out striker. Um, so therefore, that's the sort of a conversation that we can have. Yeah, and the rest is very, very difficult. Right, there is no, so therefore those are the things. Right, 42 minutes, still goalless. Ball possession, meanwhile, it's come down to a 50-50. East Bengal has had more of the ball in the last, yeah, 10, 12, 13 minutes. Uh, and yeah, it's not much action there where it needs to be. And that is, I guess, also both teams need to settle down, need to find their grip also, um, in the game, in the season. And yeah, it's at the moment the way it is, and therefore, I will have to wait and see what happens in the game. To be honest, I expected worst match with all in a squad. Oh, bro, then your expectations have gone to a close to a zero level, right? I know we've had this discussion number of times over the years. It's like quality, this, that, everything. It is a problem, and yeah, and it's the way it is, and disappointing, yeah, to say the least. There's always a clear line of difference between people of Kolkata and people of Dhaka, as both of them are culturally, linguistically different, even cuisines. Well, it reflects that. Yeah, can be can be said in that way. Akash, very clearly. Um, that's a difference which is surely there. Closing in on the half time, 44 minutes, still goalless. And both the teams surely will be hoping to get a result out of this. If it ends as a draw, um, it would keep the group open, I would say. And remember, Group A, Mohun Bagan, East Bengal, South United FC, and CISF. South United FC from Bengaluru, CSF. Protectors mm, is it's not a representative team per se. It's a best of already in injury time of the first half, still goalless. Even University of Calcutta and University of Dhaka were arch rivals. Our history is too amazing and too tragic. Whereas East Bengal entity is getting diluted more and more. East Bengal struggles to get more to get fans. Yeah, surely. Akash, the problem, third corner for Mohun Bagan. That the difficulty is, of course, is that this whole struggle of of Bengal being um, drawn and separated, um, as why would not someone who's a third of second, third, maybe in fourth generation, someone who's born and brought up in Kolkata, feel like he's from Kolkata, right? And also the successes of Mohun Bagan. We know how Indian football fans are, or football fans in India are. That's a big problem, right? They follow and support success. So those are some of those realities. So therefore, you and I, we know that, we live with that, and it is sometimes very, very tough. Already past the 45th minute mark. It's 0-0, 3-3 on corners for both the teams. One yellow card each. Everything is sort of even, with Mohun Bagan having 51 to 49% ball possession. So just a little bit more. And the Durand Cup kicks off today. And yeah, we have half time. Yeah, even Stevens. Yeah, Mr. Richard C. Dance and Sons. Yeah, Mr. Blue. You see that in Kolkata. I wouldn't say it's any speciality. I think it would call it normality, actually, to be very honest. And it is something which we see in the system, and therefore I'd say it's not anything sort of special to see that in the stadium. Brazil is discussing to play in October window. Blue, I think there is a potential plot in there. Yes, Brazil is, uh, or someone rather, an Indian agency is talking in the name of something to has put forward a proposal to potentially play a game in India, or rather in other parts of the world. and we'll have to wait and see. Um, so therefore, for me, yeah, there's a lot of rumors about a lot of things going on. There was even a crazier rumor going around um, about something, and yeah, um, so therefore, for me, um, waiting. Um, yeah, doesn't seem like a preseason game to me. Good tempo. Yes, I mean it's actually without foreigners, it's quite decent. I've not checked the weather in Kolkata. Maybe that is adding to the game. Mm, 29 degrees, 81% humidity. So it's not that hot. I think that's something. But again, humidity 81% would be not to my liking. But again, precipitation chances stand at 8%. So those things add up as well. And again, goalless at halftime with two full Indian squads with opportunities to bring in foreigners at the break. Um, interesting so far. I would say once more, let's see who the two teams could potentially consider to bring on. 1 second. So once more, starting lineups. Prabhsukan Singh Gill in goal, Anwar Ali, Lal Chungnunga, Anwar Ali, of course, as captain, Lal Chungnunga, Rohit Kumar, Edmund Raldindika, David Amar, Rohit Danu, Jason Singh, Jay Gupta, Bipin Singh, and Sandeep Mandi for East Bengal, while Mohun Bagan, Vishal Keth, Rahul Beke, Anu Thapa, Liston, Colasso, Manveer Singh, Shubhashish Bose as captain, Kian Nasiri, Sal Abdul Samad, Abhimite, Apuya Ralte, and Mehtab Singh. Meaning on the bench are Shan Banerjee, Abhishek Suryavanshi, Alberto Rodriguez, Deepak Tangri, goalkeeper Young goalkeeper Zahid, Dipendu Bishash, Alex Saji, Rubilal, Dean Drazic, and Suhail Ahmed Bhatt. So Dean Drazic could be an option maybe for the second half to showcase himself. Well, East Bengal have on their bench Purbala Chempa, Bhatt, PV Vishnu, Danny Ramirez, Jason TK, Chakravorty, Shovik Chakravorty, let me put again, Ram Sanga, Wasim Rashid, Mark Zo, and Gaurav Shaw. Interesting options, in my opinion, for both the coaches. Um, yeah, question is how can they utilize it for their respective teams? That's going to be the question. Beke played pretty well, in my opinion. All the challenges were clean. Blue, if you watch Rahul Beke for most of the matches, so much of we'll say that Rahul Beke actually does that. Yes, he does have mistake, and so yeah, let's see. Heard Rashid misplaces luggage back in Chicago. Happens. Shouldn't happen. Does happen. Let's put it this way. And yeah, reality, no. Sandeep Mandi had been good so far. Remember him from that mistake he made at Jamshedpur. Boom was scoring from it. He's come a long way since. Yeah, he's come quite a bit, quite far, I would say, from where he was, and therefore, uh, yeah, Sergio Lamas and Carlos Delgado Sanz for Mumbai City. Looks like it. Um, Again, Mumbai City needed. Again, if you had asked me for a choice, with all due respect to Carlos Delgado, I would have loved to have retained Nuno Reis. Nuno Reis was, very rock solid. But Carlos Delgado also captain material, and Sergio Lamas, if he signed, also a good one. To me, to add some stability in the midfield. Again, Mumbai City needs six foreigners. Hopefully, they will sign six foreigners this time around, and then this team looks much better than it looks at the moment. That's my hope around that team. Gil or Lachempa, who will be first choice? Blue, at the moment, maybe Prabhusukan looks like first choice, but I think Lachempa will challenge him. And the question is what Senor Habas decides. And, um, so therefore, for me, that will be the question to all. And yeah, will be very interesting to see what actually factually happens. But to me, yeah, let's wait and see what happens. We are mostly gonna have a protest tomorrow to save in food in Hazra Road, Kolkata. Let's see. Okay. Nice, nice. If people are protesting, again, stay peaceful. And yeah, um, said about the domestic signings, Mohun City FC. Vikram, they are working on it, and once again, with Manolo now coming on board, I think Manolo and Sujay are coordinating and working on those things. You know, and so therefore, for me, we will have to see what happens. But I think Mumbai City will put out a team which will compete in the Indian Super League. I hope, I guess, I wish. Mumbai City logo looks a lot like Man City. Mr. Blue, it does in some sort of form or way because Man City and Mumbai City were until last year sister clubs. So City Football Group, and so so therefore that's what that was changed. The original logo was from 2014 of Mumbai City FC, and I can say that because I was involved in setting up. I was the founding CEO of Mumbai City Football Club in 2014, and that logo, which was a little bit different in shape, was then changed under. Yeah, so this is. Hope the chemistry between Mr. Sujay and Mr. Manolo will work well. Simon, it will because they work together in Hyderabad. Manolo, when he won the ISL, was with Sujay as head of football. So those two guys know each other well. And therefore, Manolo has also joined Mumbai City. I think Sujay would be one of the main reasons, key reasons for, and yeah, that's the thing. I satisfied that the podcast one should color grading need to increase. Harsh, I don't know if what I'm watching and you watching is of the same similar quality because I've had problems with the stream, so therefore better not for me to comment on the quality today. Sir, any updates on Mercedes transfer plan? As I said, Vikram, they're working on things. Let's wait and see. Northeast and Nico from Culture Leonesa, the club plays in third division in Spain, experienced centre back based on his performances. We will have to wait and see. Simon will have a lot of these players coming in from the second, third tier of football here, there, everywhere, and then we'll have to see who does what. And yeah, you and I will see what happens with the respective things. And for me, that's very important to see how we, you know. So yeah. Just saw the old logo. It was awesome. Thanks, Mr. Blue. At the time, uh, um, we had I think, over 200 logo options um, to look at, and this was then the logo which was then finally decided. So yeah, that was a challenge in itself, and yeah. So therefore, that was that. Have you applied for posts? Yeah. Harsh, I've applied for CEO of the ISL. If you want me to be that honest and transparent, I've done that, yes. Legends say Manolo will definitely finish second or third in league. Oh, no, that's an interesting one. And maybe win if there is an League Cup, maybe win the League Cup of the ISL. Let's wait and see. Um, I have a lot of respect for Manolo as a club coach because he's shown both at Hyderabad and at Goa that he can build squads. And last season, he also showed that with limited resources, he's able to build a team. And it clearly is that Mumbai City are not spending as much as they used to in the past. So that's clearly evident. And yeah, so therefore, uh, that's something where I'm looking forward to seeing again. Manolo and Sujay, as I said, know each other quite well as well. So those two um, have a working relationship, and that I think makes it a lot easier with everything involved. And I would hope that Manolo helps him. And so therefore, yeah, that's been very interesting to see what those two can work together and build together. Can CFG remove Mumbai City new logo? No. Harsh, to me, that's they left in friendship. CFG left Indian football because they didn't see for the short to mid-term financial future for Indian football, meaning that they were just putting in money and there was no return on the invest. Um, and for them potentially say, listen, I will invest more, I will build your infrastructure, I will build you this, I will build you that. Where is the return? And all of that wasn't there. Therefore, they exited. So therefore, no, the logo is there and it stays, the colors stay, and everything stays the same per se. So, which team do you support in ISL? Mr. Blue, I support in that way two teams, and that's Mumbai City FC because, as I said earlier, I was involved in setting up Mumbai City Football Club. So, therefore, I have a sort of a working relationship with the Islanders in that way from the past. And the other team is Punjab FC because was involved in setting up the academy of Round Glass Punjab. So, therefore, those two the teams are closest to me. And if you would normally say from the past, if I had another team or was the original team that I used to support pre ISL days, that would have been East Bengal FC because that's our family club. But again, um, due to my working relationships with Mumbai City FC and my working relationship um, at Punjab FC, those two teams are a little closer to my heart these days. Any prediction for second half? Blue, none, because this is as I think who said it? Sam said, no, that's like a preseason game and a decent one as well. Difficult to say what will happen. To me, both the teams have played better than one would have thought, most probably. But the question is what and so that's the thing. So BFC, the old BFC versus JDT rivalry in the AFC Cup, and Nigeria has progressed into AFC Champions League elite club. The other fact checking him with harsher charges of Indian football. Interesting. Yeah, Simon. If you look at where we were 10 years ago, I think we were most probably better than Malaysia. But to me, yeah, what to say? These are the realities of things, and if I you we like it or not, but um, yeah, JDT has mm, um, so therefore for me, mm, the reality, right? I think also BFC in the last 2 3 years have sort of stagnated. The next level of growth has not happened. What's your feeling on the future of Durand Cup and the importance of it as a preseason tournament? Mahesh, in the current format, because they have to accommodate so much, if I want to attract the ISL teams and say, you want to play, the current format doesn't work. But again, who's going to tell the army and say, guys, um, as the second half is to start, East Bengal to start with the ball. The problem is for me is that 24 teams is a nice idea. It's spread it in east and northeast India, nice everything. But if I want the ISL clubs to play, then I have to find a different format whatsoever, um, and because then it to make it a valuable preseason tournament for the big teams. And at the moment, they don't see it as a valuable preseason tournament. And that's the problem that, in my opinion, the Durand Cup has. It has history, it has pedigree, has it had its own importance, but that is sort of seems to have been lost. So it's all about the finances. IPL succeeded and ISL didn't. Is that the core problem? Yeah. I think it's not just about ISL or IPL or whatever league you want. That's the thing. Acha, BFC fan put that together. Okay, okay, now I understand, Simon. Can Chennai FC compete for the title this season? Harsh, too early to say. All these conversations, who can compete here, there. Listen, we are in July. The squads are still not together. The season is not even close to starting. Those are conversations you will have depending on when the league starts, either in September or we'll have that conversation in even in October, most probably. Who are you most interested from Mohun Super and East Bengal squad? Any player? Oh, Blue, good question. Who am I most interested? Um, to me, one of the players surely is Edmund. I want to see if and how he can progress further. Rohit Danu is another one. I've liked it since his BFC days, and but he's not taken that next step, in my opinion. So I'm interested to see what Rohit Danu does. So those were the ones there, and Mohun, interested to see Abhimitai's progress. Did quite good. Um, you know, so therefore, yeah. And what does Kian Nasiri do, right? If you want to talk about young players, what does he do? And can will Rahul Beke um, show what he's capable of? That's going to be some of those questions that I have, right? The Super Cup will happen this year. Will the Federation be reinstated? Heard rumors of the one happening after the ISL season. Time and no clarity at the moment. There is a lot of, and you know, so for me, let them decide on the ISL dates first, and then we'll see what if they want to do Federation Cup now, and then push the ISL season out that way. We'll have to wait and see. There needs to be a lot of clarification of that. Should a struggling club like Diamond Harbour see relocate to Gujarat? They have best stadium and also fan culture. Where does Gujarat have fan culture, Harsh? Sorry, I missed something about that. Why would Diamond Harbour FC have no relationship whatsoever to a Gujarat? Right? They are a Kolkata, you know, a West Kolkata based club. Um, they've been building something in their locality as well. Of course, they're politically affiliated. I think that should not be taken away. Um, so therefore, for me, those are some of those facts that we need to keep in mind, and the rest we'll have to wait and see. But to me, why would they relocate to Gujarat? And then Gujarat would mean a buyout, and then renaming, rebuilding the team, whatever. But as a Kolkata-based club, makes no sense, so to say, if you ask me honestly, to do that. Your proposal, sorry, makes no sense to me. Um, is Edmund playing up front on the wings? David looks like the striker. Edmund is to me more of a number 10, Simon, if you ask me. So therefore, yeah, and David Hammer is the striker. Gehlot also to East Bengal. So yeah, looks like it that Narendra Gehlot could be also joining East Bengal FC. Will be interesting um, if he does, because he gives them also options in their wing back positions, which he can also play. Eka Stadium is beautiful. It's nice, Mr. Blue, no doubt about it. But you know, that means Ahmedabad costs other things. Who's going to sort it out? So therefore, yeah, that's also reality. Yeah, at least the Youth Bengal is fixed. No more that buzz and robotic voices from the ISL season. Okay, I don't know what is the robotic voices from the ISL, Simon. Again, whenever I was watching, it was fine to me. So therefore, don't know where the problem was. And 50 minutes on the clock. Possession has still remained similar, a little bit more with Mohun Bagan. Um, amongst the two teams. Possession, possession, possession. Sorry. After construction of Makanu Stadium, can expect more funding. You think that Brazil, Argentina, Portugal will be organized in India? No. Harsh, the logistics of getting in and out of Shillong are just too complicated for football teams, to be very, very honest. Even Guwahati would be a stretch. They're also revamping the Guwahati Nehru Stadium into a full-fledged football stadium, but those localities, for European teams anyway, don't have slots. And Brazil, Argentina, if they're going to come and play in India, then it is Kolkata, it is Kerala, and um, maybe the DY Patil in Navi Mumbai can be added to this, or the Nehru Stadium in Delhi. So those would be the venues, but no, they're not. And then I know links to share. I mean, that was considered buffering commentary. There's the notice working from home, so the lack of noise cancellation was annoying during the fashion. Okay. So I'm sorry. Wasn't aware of that because, yeah, I was doing so many live streams that I actually didn't listen to the commentary too often, right? So that's also something which I did during the. And that's a goal for Mohun Bagan Super Giant. And oops, suddenly the Mariners are in the lead. The Mariners are in the lead. Yeah, Sahal Abdul Samad with the first goal of the season for an ISL team. Again, Harsh, I'm watching it on a stream, so therefore I'm not going to comment on that. Yeah, Sahal. Was it Sahal? Yeah, it was Sahal. No? Yeah, it was Sahal. Sahal Abdul Samad with the lead for Mohun Bagan Super Giant. And suddenly we have a game on as East Bengal FC kick off. The red and gold. Now, if they want to stay in the tournament, would have to figure out how to score, because this match most probably will decide the group winner. And banking on that, we will finish top amongst the second teams. Bit of risk, in my opinion, as Suvajan with the goal kick, nearly 54 minutes on the clock. Mohun Bagan in the second half now with 2 attempts on goal and 1 goal. Yeah, not looking for his Bengal. Only 2 shots so far, says Simon. Yeah. Mohun Bagan have the experience, have the players to win such games, have the knowledge also how to utilize such games, get a result out of such a game. And that's going to be the question now. Can East Bengal come back? Hi, Krish. Thank you for asking. Thank you. मैं कैसे हूँ? मैं अच्छा हूँ. Hope you're well too. I'm doing fine. With who will have the bragging rights? The last match ended in a draw, which enabled East Bengal to win their first ever ISL title. And here, now the question is, can the red and gold get back, at least get a draw, which would then mean both the teams, it's going to be a goal scoring matchup against South United and the CISF. Question is also, what kinds of substitutions will the coaches utilize in this game? What will they do to get a best possible result? Yes, sorry, need to update the banner. Um, do you think East Bengal can hit back? Let me see what the voting says. 189 votes, 65% say Mohun Bagan will win, only 25% for the red and gold, and 10% say it's going to end in a draw. Very interesting. Thank you very much, everybody who's voted so far. And also a reminder, if you like the watch along, do leave a like behind, share it with others. And if you haven't, please do subscribe to Arunfoot here on YouTube and my other socials. 20 likes so far. Thank you very much. And we stand at 4,667. So that's the current number, 4,667. Moving towards the 5,000 mark, guys. Follow me also on my Instagram, on X, fourth corner for East Bengal in this game. Follow me on Threads. Follow arunfoot.com. So thank you as always for your support. Sahal Abdul Samad with the lead for the Mariners after 53 minutes. And now East Bengal have a catch-up job to do. Corner comes in. And no concern in the end for the Mariners goal. Challenging. Inter Kashi have been ripped apart. I hope they get things sorted out soon. Simon, they're in a they're in the worst situation, I think, of any club, even worse than what Odisha had players on their books now, and Inter Kashi has no players on the books. Right? Corner for Mohun Bagan at the other end. So therefore, it's there are two questions. One is, can they stay alive? And secondly, can they put a team together? Right. So that's the thing. And sad to see, as you rightly say, in my opinion, I feel the same thing. Yeah. And yeah, let's hope they sort their stuff out. And so therefore, for me, that's always something that we have to think about, the way it is, right? And yeah, Mohun Bagan less with the ball, but with the you know at least had shots on target, which East Bengal haven't had. And without shots on target, you can't win matches. That will be the challenge for the red and gold in what is the season opening game of the top level of Indian football. We've seen local football being played in Bengal and other parts of India already in the month of June and July. But for the ISL teams, for the top level teams, this is the start of the competition. And therefore, that is something of a challenge. East Bengal to find that equalizer. That was off target. Goal kick for Mohun Bagan Super Giant. Yeah, they need a goal. East Bengal. Both teams with four corners, one yellow card each. 3 to 6 shots. At least the international one is saying that, with 2 on target for Mohun Bagan. One of them a goal from Sahal Abdul Samad. Substitution for Mohun Bagan Supergiant just after the hour mark. And East Bengal need to find a goal in this game. The question is he fit to play again? No. No, it's not Simon. He's not in the field. Dejan Drazic, yes, with his debut for the Mariners. A player that I honestly really like a lot. Really, yeah, great guy. That's the thing. Can they turn it around? East Bengal at least get a draw against their arch rivals. That's going to be the question. Can they get a result? Can East Bengal get a goal? 50-50 ball possession, but better opportunities surely for the Mariners. And that's the challenge in this game of football today. That's the challenge now. Both the sets of teams, players know. Yeah, some of the new ones, of course. The first feel of a Kolkata derby. In that way, one has a little bit more experience. But, yeah, not much to separate, except, of course, this goal, which was nicely set up by Kian Nasiri. Manveer didn't get onto the ball, and Sal Abdul Samad with a class goal. And that's the problem with Sal Abdul Samad sometimes, I feel. As a player, with the technical abilities that the boy has, doesn't always show it. That's a problem, in my opinion. And needs to show it more often. Some changes. With Rohit Kumar and Rohit Dano haven't coming off, and P. Vishnu and Mohammad Rashid coming on. So, Bagan offside. Yeah, not easy for the two teams. It's the first match of the season. You don't know really where you stand, and you're hoping you're going to get better. And that's the challenge in these kind of matches. It's going to be interesting to see. And, just seeing that Sahal as well as Kian had gone off for Drazic and Deepak Tangri. A little bit more defensive stability, I guess, is the idea from Dylan Perez. And looking to strengthen his midfield. 66 minutes on the clock. East Bengal behind the ISL champions, behind against their arch rivals, Mohun Bagan Supergiant, who are looking for a second. East Bengal looking for a draw. Of course, might not be too much of damage because both the teams could make it to the knockout stages. But for Mohun Bagan, it would be advantaged. South United and CISF as the next opponents for both the teams. And let's quickly look at the dates. East Bengal would play CISF on the 31st. Mohun Bagan, South United on the 4th. East Bengal plays South United on the 7th. And Mohun Bagan plays CSF on the 10th. All matches in Kolkata, either at the Saltlake Stadium or at the Kishore Bhartri Kiran Super Giant throw in on the left. 67 minutes on the clock. Advantage to the Mariners against their arch rivals. Free kick in the middle of the park. Been a very fair game, one has to say, between these two. Yeah, we've seen different games over the years. And different outcomes. And East Bengal need to create chances. Simon says, yeah, Mohun Bagan has had more of the ball. Looked more dangerous, in my opinion. Toothless. Level. Is he ISL level as a striker? Beke and Mehtab solid, rock solid at the back. Another substitution for the Mariners. Perez is a conservative with his approach, when he used a more counter-attacking approach under Simon. I think he's at least what I've seen with Punjab, he was quite pragmatic. Sometimes he was counter-attacking, sometimes was actually trying to control games as well. But the Mohun Bagan, again, it depends on the available players. And here, to me, the big question is, if I look at his team today, that could, this team nearly could go through as an Indian national team. That what he started off with, and but he's got the players theoretically. Let's wait and see what he does, right? And Samir Selkovic, it's going to be very interesting to have a holding midfielder and Selkovic and Apuya maybe together. It gives you options, and the way Rahul Bheke has played so far. Another corner for East Bengal. Rahul Beke is, to me, with all, criticism and stuff, most probably the number one centre back option for Mohun Supergiant, even ahead of Mehtab, Alex Haji, Dipindu. Bisa supposedly is going to Chennai, still not confirmed. So therefore, there's a lot of these things that are potentially set to happen in the coming days and weeks on that. But the Perez, to me, has it. And Habas plays Habas football, and that would be a real test. That would be a real test to see what happens on that front or not. But East Bengal, now less than 20 minutes plus X on the clock. Need a goal to at least draw this game and get something out of it. Otherwise, their arch rivals will start the season with a win in a Kolkata derby. And that is, as I say, not the best for East Bengal FC. Clearly, clearly Mohun Bagan, the better of the two teams, more settled. East Bengal for me, there's something missing for me. Um, Havas, yeah, maybe needs to release the shackles and allow his team to play. But so far, if you ask me, the Beres side better. Experience also showing, of course. If you look at, as I said, who's all playing, could be this team mostly could have played as an Indian national team, and that is something which, yeah, one should not discount when you look at the system of Mohun Supergiant. And interesting, as I said, with the players that they have been able to bring in, and they've got options, right? Amongst the players having brought in Changte, not there. Miguel Ferreira, not there. Alberto Rodriguez didn't start. Jay McLaren hasn't started. There's no Selkovic. So Mohun Bagan um, have to have still option. East Bengal need to make Tanu a shadow striker. Simon, yeah, could be, as you say, Edmund is at any service. Yeah, but again, the question is that the best position for Rodano? I thought on the left he's stronger, better. Again, this is all for Habas to figure out. That's a player that has played, for him at Intakashi. So Habas knows the player, and therefore for me, he'll figure out something, I guess, which works. Mohun Bagan now again in attack, and they earn a fifth corner. First time in the match that Mohun Bagan has more corners than East Bengal. And yeah, so it's East Bengal. Again, the first thing they're trying to do is trying to have more of the ball, trying to create stuff uh, into the attacking third for the red and gold. But it's not been really dangerous for Vishal Kade's goal. No real threats to the Mariners keeper. There's a yellow card for Mohun Bagan. Second in the game. 74 minutes on the clock. East Bengal chasing Mohun Bagan Super Giant. And the Mariners leading 1-0, which put them top of the table in Group A of the Durand Cup. As I've said multiple times, South United and CISF Protectors are the two other teams in the group. And no disrespect, but normally no challenge for two of the biggest clubs, the two biggest spenders in Indian football. And at the moment, yeah, East Bengal's had a little bit more of the ball here and there, but Mohun Bagan seems very comfortable, very, very comfortable in their game. And that should be a big concern to Senor Habas and East Bengal. Will the Mariners have the bragging rights of winning this season's first derby? Or can the red and gold hit back, strike back, get back into the game? All to play for. Therefore, interesting to see. if and what happens in this game. Mohun Bagan with a free kick. Yeah, if you don't threaten the goal, I've said this now a few times, you will not be able to score. And if you don't score, we can all play, but it will be a problem in the game. And so far, East Bengal have had some interesting moves, but nothing what I would say, you know what, Mohun Supergiant would be worried about it. And if I look at the two teams, 5 corners each, 2 to 1 yellow cards in favor of Mohun Bagan. More shots for the Mariners in a tight game. Mariners are just a little better, that little bit over their arch rivals with Mohun Bagan trying to utilize their wings. But that is again sorry. Do you guys still think Bengal could potentially come back? Just looking at the votes, 234 votes. Thank you. 65% Mohun Bagan, 10% draw, and only 25% thinking that East Bengal can win. And it's an uphill task at the moment. The question is, can East Bengal get a equalizer? Having the possession in the middle of the park, but that's not threatening the Mohun Bagan goal. That's there. That's here. That's there, but it's nowhere near threatening that goal of Vishal Keth. But football, as I've said many, many times in lives or other videos as well, can be a crazy game. Suddenly out of nowhere, you get a chance and score. And that is, I think, the biggest hope that East Bengal, out of nothing, create a chance, score, and suddenly, boom, you got a game on hand. And that is going to be the challenge for the red and gold. Yeah, and certain players. And Mohun Bagan seems a little more settled um, going into the campaign so far, I feel. East Bengal, Senor Habas, got some work to do. That's going to be an interesting challenge for him. With substitution for East Bengal with nearly 80 minutes on the clock. Mohun Bagan 1, East Bengal 0. And the Mariners, that's called surviving. Yeah, Simon. Nothing more, nothing less. And that's more than enough for the Mariners tonight. Somehow win it. And then see what you can do. That's the challenge now. Who's going to get that goal? Who's going to score or does it stay 1-0 for the Mariners? Because East Bengal are unable at this moment, unable to get onto the score sheet. Biggest problem so far, no shots on target for East Bengal. 81 minutes. Yeah, 81 minutes and no shots on target. Mohun Super Giant, and as Sam said, they're just playing it down. They're smartly playing it down. They're not doing anything fancy, just doing what is needed to ensure that they control the game against their arch rivals, who are, yeah, nowhere in this game in regard to opportunities and chances to get a result. Yeah, Shan Banerjee with interesting switch. I remember I used to have a lot of discussions about Shine Banerjee and PV Vishnu about 2, 3 years back. And I remember Shine Banerjee was seen as the next big thing at East Bengal. Couldn't keep that promise. And in the summer, makes an interesting switch to the arch rivals. Yeah, got a good salary from Mohun Super Giant. And therefore, for me, um, very interesting switch. Surprising. It's a very, very surprising switch also. I'll be very, very honest about that. But Shayan Banerjee now. And as Simon says, boos and cheers. Yeah, boos from the East Bengal fans, cheers from the Mohun Bagan fans as expected. Because that's, as I say, is an interesting move. And 83 minutes on the clock. Mohun Bagan 1, East Bengal nil in a match that actually had its moments, in my opinion. A match which and not much to talk about. East Bengal, but now with more of the ball, Mohun Bagan just doing enough. Maybe waiting for that one counter-attacking move which could win them the game. Maybe that's what they are waiting for. Mariners would be a successful start to a stint for Dylan Paris as head coach of Mohun Bagan Super Giant. While for Habas, it would be an unsuccessful start. As yeah, East Bengal attacking in behalf of the opponents, but But who's gonna try East Bengal? Nearly 86 minutes on the clock. With Salab the Samit. Fifth corner for East Bengal. He would be the man of the match if the match ends in with the result. But East Bengal have to find something. But at the moment, it looks like that Mohun Bagan post. Oops. Huh? I'm trying to just simply see out the game and win it. Do the red and gold have one answer, one attempt that the game changes in their favor? At the moment, it looks very, very much an attack. Yeah, it's moving towards a Mohun Bagan win. East Bengal having had more of the ball in the second half, but no shots on target is always a sign it's not working for you. Trying. But you're not getting the opportunities that you want, that you need to get a result out of this. Mohun Bagan losing the ball again. East Bengal with an attack. We're already in the last minute of the game. Akash, Mohun Bagan with the goal through a simple tap in from Salab to Samit off Kian Nasiri. And then after, it's been a lot of East Bengal, but no shots on target still. And that is the problem. If you don't have a shot on target, you cannot score. It's that simple. 5 corners to both teams each. 2-1 yellow cards in favor of Mohun Bagan. Last one picked up by Shubhashish Bose. And 2 shots off target each. Mohun Bagan trying to maybe seal the game. We're past the 90th minute mark. We are in added time of the second 45. And as I said, very interesting to see who wins this derby to start the season. And but good chance maybe for one ball. Looks, yeah, is not only looks, is offside. Few weeks ago, I have heard that Samad is leaving. Sal, one of the better ones, Akash, before scoring, had a shot on the post and then scored. So Sal Abdul Samad, yeah, needs to showcase himself because once the foreigners are available, might be pushed. Um, so therefore, there is Sal Abdul Samad with all the potential that the boy has. That has to be always said. Corner for East Bengal. We're already in the second minute of added time. Can they create danger against their arch rivals? East Bengal with more ball possession now. Hope has it. Any news about ISL? All foreigners going to play. What about Keras? Is anyone buying them? Akash, if you speak again, and this is Indian football for you, if you speak with three, four different people, there's one person will tell you, yeah, it's done. The second person will tell you, no, 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 there's nothing sorted. A third person will then tell you, you know what, maybe it's happening. So they are on the market. The owners have paid the fee, the participation fee for the ISL to keep, so to say, the club in the loop of everything. So that's one. So Kerala Bass is not sorted. 14 teams. There's still no clarity in regard to Diamond Harbour. We've spoken also today a little bit about Inter Kashi, that there's no, and yeah, and uh, mm, there the question is if Pritchard is able to find new investors. The team is completely disintegrated. And Diamond Harbour, of course, the question is yes, they have also now committed themselves of playing, but they didn't pay anything. Um, because yeah, of the political connections of the club. So that's also reality. Possession has been going Mohun Bagan 52 to 48 shots. He's been going 12 to 15 on target 3-3. Okay, sorry. Why is my stats not updating? Sorry, my mistake. Simon, yours are better. My mistake. After 70 minutes, what happened to Mohun Bagan? Went into a defensive shell. We've seen this in the World Cup as well a number of times. Right? Nothing new, so to say, but we've seen that in the World Cup also that teams who have a certain lead, then at some stage, um, then go into a defensive shell. And why they go into that defensive shell, don't ask me for that. But they do. What's wrong with Kashi? With Kashi, is that again the people who are investing have thought, why are we doing it? Kyun kar rahe hai? With all the problems that they faced in UP, I think they didn't get the help that they were hoping for on needing, so to say. So therefore, that's the reality, and therefore, yeah, they currently don't have a squad, don't have a coach. Habas has left them and joined East Bengal, so that's also a reality. And therefore, once the things are sorted, they will have to go for a full rebuild. So therefore, that will be a more interesting thing to think. Yeah. Uh, so therefore, very interested to see what happens in the coming days and weeks on that front, because maybe 5 minutes plus here in added time. What happens or not? Kashi should have started from I League 2-3. They would have got some time to understand the inside things, also would have and time to settle down. No, Akash, the guys running Kashi know all the insider things. It's not about that. It's just about people who commit to you and then realizing how much money you would lose in Indian football. I have said clearly, and I said this to a lot of friends of mine over the years, and I said this last week when I was sitting with friends watching the World Cup semis in Delhi when people were talking about it. I said, listen, if I had the money, I would, if, and you were asking me to invest into a football team, I would never invest into an Indian football club because I just put in money. There's no return. If I put in 1 rupee, I'm getting back zero, right? And the next season, yeah, full time. Sorry, I have to pump in money again. Yes, Mohun Supergiant win the first derby of the season in the Durand Cup. It's a hard fought 1-0 victory for the Mariners, the Green Maroons against the Red and Gold. That's the start of the season. And yeah, who would have guessed running club from a city with no infrastructure, no audience, no audience, would be a problem. Akash, the thing is, the people running Intakashi knew all of that. They took it as a challenge. They wanted to do stuff themselves. Um, and then they thought they had the support from government side, municipal side, this, that, everything. And yeah, they didn't get it, right? And there are a lot of stumbling blocks for them. And if you see that they came in, did okay in the first year, won the I League in the second year, to go to CAS to ensure they got promoted, did decent actually last season in the ISL as well, right? With all the financial shortcomings that they had compared to others. And now RDB says, you know what, thank you very much. We tried for 3 years, but this is not for us. That's the problem. Who do you think played better than Mohun East Bengal? Zravar, Mohun Bagan overall a little better than the others, but not much. Underwhelming start, yeah. Best. Okay, Zravar for the first game. If you win at the end, I think that's also something which one needs to remember. A winning start is always good for a coach who comes in new, right? So for Dembélé to come in, win the first derby. Habas has played a lot of derbies. Habas has a lot of experience. Two different coaches, two different experiences, two different backgrounds. So I think for Dembélé, I think it's very, very important to win this game. It helps him, and yeah, and therefore that is something which is there. And so for me, I would say a good start for him. And um, yeah, so therefore take a win. Once again, let me put out a tweet. Sorry, put out the tweet. That's gone out as well. Um, yeah, 1 second. Let me get back here. Yeah, here, back again. I don't think Kashmir was amazing, but the project was also very helpful. Hope about Kashi in 2023. Um, yeah, were they too ambitious? Yes. If you ask me that way, you know, so therefore for me, um, but again, you have to have ambition, and those guys wanted to prove certain points. They did prove those points, right? Winning the I League, getting into the ISL, sustaining the ISL. So all those question marks that people could have would have had about them, Pritijit and his team were able to starve off. But yeah, overall, it's the reality. First derby loss for Habas. Yes, that happens when Habas is over to the side. So very interesting to see that Antonio Lopez Habas loses his first ever derby, but in East Bengal colors. I also agree. If I had money, I would never put that to open a club in India. I rather would open academy train kids. Yeah, Akash. But for that to happen, for me to say, you know what, I want to run an academy and develop kids, that would be honestly that would be a dream project for me. But for that, I would have to have so much money on the side to say, you know what, I can open one, I can run it, and I can keep it sustained for at least 3 to 5 years. It's not a blind project where do let's do it, right? Doesn't happen. Do you think sports pass will happen given what happened in India in last few days? I guess I'm going to put the sports pass to backstage for now. Zoravar, it has nothing to do what has happened. Why are you interlinking things which are not interlinked? The sports passport is going, it's processed. The sports passport, some people wanted to push it now through um, in the monsoon session, whatever, blah, 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 blah. I've always said it's a 2 year thing. Don't worry about it, you know, and it'll come. India is talking at the Commonwealth Games about the Olympics and other things. If India wants to continue the conversation about Olympics, then the sports passport will have to come. If India doesn't want the Olympics, then maybe that conversation ends. But India's track record in the Olympics is so bad that India will have to open up itself to its diaspora to be more successful because India is not producing enough talented athletes within its system within India. So don't worry, it'll come. It'll take its time, but it'll come. After the goal, he's been midfield with two foreigners, complete dominant ones on midfield, which is basically Indian national team midfield with Apuya Thapa. Yeah, but that's the difference of a foreigner. Good game for the neutrals. It was okay. But 2 years back, you also told Ravinder Akashi will be next big thing in Indian football community that they are too much ambitious, can dismantle. Akash, and I repeat what I said. I still think that they were the next big thing. So I I stand by what I said 2 years ago. They won the I League. They played a good last season of the ISL, and now comes the reality. So which is hard, which is brutal, but that's the reality. Can they dismantle? It's for the owners to decide, right? It is like with every other team. I am positively surprised that 14 owners last season, no one said, you know what, thank you very much, Tata, bye bye, I am off. Right? That could have happened to the ISL. It luckily didn't. But now some are risking it again. Let's say Odisha FC are risking it again, Chennai FC are risking it again, where I would have said, okay. But on the other side, if I look at Interkashi is in that situation, very dangerous. Um, Mumbai City is still in it, right? And then suddenly the Blasters are in it, right? Now let's wait and see. Simon's hit and misses for Mohun Bagan. Hits were Nasiri and Kian Nasiri, Rahul Beke misses Shubhashi. Shubhashi Bose has been a problem for a while. That will be interesting to see. And yeah, Rahul Beke, sorry, anyone criticizing Rahul Beke doesn't know how good he is. So that's the thing. And Kian is I wish the boy that he shows what he's capable of, right? And for East Bengal, hits for Danny Ramirez and Anwar Ali. Yeah, Mrs. J. Gupta, Rohit Kumar. Yeah, yeah. For the first match, I take it. Sorry. Hi, Anurag. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, decent start. Not, I wouldn't say great. Anurag, good that started. Kia needs to go to other team. He has potential, but wasting in bench. Yeah, bro, that's the point. But at Chennai, Owen Coyle didn't rated him, gave him chance. But then Kian didn't take the next step. So the question is, where will this boy take the next step? Kian Nasiri is at an age where he needs to play and needs to showcase week in, week out, right? And he has the talent. He's technically better than most Indian footballers because I've had the pleasure. He will not remember. He doesn't need to remember that we've played against each other. So therefore, for me, Kian is someone. He's 25. I thought he was 22, 23. He's 25. 20, turns 26 in November. So therefore, at 25, 26, I can't talk about and yeah. So therefore, no. Northeastern FC to get it again 3 in a row. Anurag, no, let's wait and see what happens. Not sure. Tata Amos says move forward. Why exactly Kashi is not playing at Lucknow? I don't believe the UP government will not help them regarding the stadium. The UP government didn't help them. So Akash, I don't believe. If you don't believe, that doesn't matter. I don't believe doesn't matter. UP, they tried to play 2 years ago at Dekana in Lucknow, which was a disaster. And after that, they didn't find UP at the moment doesn't have an I League ISL standard ground. So therefore, for me, um, whatever you think, uh, and they've tried their stuff elsewhere in the state. UP is not football friendly at the top level. Massa has applied for the role of coach for India, say 15 for FIFA 15. No, he's not applied as coach, but he wants to be manager. Robert. So honestly, Kian will be perfect with Jamshedpur or Delhi, even Punjab. Could be. But again, he struggled at Chennai. So that's the point. Also, I see Kian struggles in CFL more than today. Why? Motivation. I'm just speculating, bro. I don't know. Does he enjoy playing at this level more than having to grind it out in the CFL? Maybe. It's not about him. I think a lot of these boys who are in the reserve team of Mohun and Supergiant, when they're forced to play CFL and RFDL, you know, and that's a question of character. So yeah, reality. Bose versus Roses today. Open Press sees that he isn't a 90-minute player anymore. Yeah, so however, let's wait and see. Isn't it announced that they're going to build a temporary stadium in Kashi? Akash, yes, but they put that stadium project on hold earlier this year. Because why would you build a stadium and get investment in and let people, build a 5,500 stadium if you don't know if you're going to play there? That's we can't go back to the basic discussion. If I am an Indian Super League club, if I am an Indian Football League club, if I'm an I League 2 club, a three I League 3 club, why would I look to build my own infrastructure? Because I don't know if Indian football in some sort of form or way will exist or not. Right. So all of this, again, you're very, very right. They've been very, very ambitious. They wanted to do stuff. They still want to do stuff. But again, they are now in the reality of Indian football. Right. Um, Extra high cost. Players are not loyal to you. Um, the governments don't want to help you. The parent body is not helping you. There's that everything. It's a disaster. Indian footballers are majority late bloomers, so they actually perform better as they reach 30s. So now what I say always 26, 27 is something, or some even later. Uh, you know. So to me, yeah, well, very interesting to see what they do. Very interesting to do, but to me, a Kian Nasiri, 25. Again, I thought he was a little younger, boy. 25, 26. Yeah, make or break in my opinion. But do Mohamed Sojan have left back to replace Bose? Can Shaji play that? No. Alex Shaji is a centre back. Your option is to put Abhi Mitai on the left and maybe play Mehtab Singh as a right back. Mr. Second, what are the key takeaways? Sal had two opportunities. First one against the post, second one in. East Bengal were better towards the second half, and and yeah, but it was a nice game to watch, but too early to think about anything so far in the season. You know about the Hapoel and Maccabi umbrella system is a football structure? No, Akash, sorry, haven't heard about it. No, so simple answer to you. Right, before I forget, as I always do, hey, if you're watching this, watch along. If you haven't, please give it a like, share with other people to join in. Again, some interesting conversations today on the show. 33 likes, thank you as well. 33 people are watching also at this moment. Wow, more than 9,000 views already. That's a lot. And we stand at 4,670. So we are 330 subscribers away from the 5,000 mark. So therefore, thank you very, very much. And watch my short videos, which I try and do on a daily basis. Did something earlier today on Jurgen Klopp becoming or being announced as Germany coach yesterday. Did something which I didn't get much views, but again, share it around. Can India football utilize the hype created by the FIFA World Cup? I think that's an interesting one to have a conversation about. And yeah, and let me know. So Rava says most of weekend defensive East Bengal dominate yet Mohun managed to survive. Yeah, um, I think Simon said surviving. That's the thing. Kiana struggled to impress any manager he has played under Habas, Ferrando, Habas, Molina, Lobera, and you forgot Coyle. Yeah, but yeah, Simon, for me, the most talented player of that generation if you want to name the most talented player of the generation of players who are in and around 25, 26 years of age, Kian Nasiri would be top of my list, talent wise. Can he get you the results that he wants, that you want, that you need from him? And that's the question again, right? So that's the sad part about players like him. With all the talent that you have, um, can you get the result for your team? And so therefore, let's wait and see what happens. Um, yeah. So therefore, it is the way it is, and we'll have to wait and see what happens. But to me, the big takeaway is, yeah, let's see where we are. Majority Gen Z population on Instagram. Yeah, Zorava, they are. That's the reality, if we like it or not. But and that's where opinions are formed or not. But again, it's the way it is, and therefore I said, um, maybe I'm always a little too late to the party. I was too late on the YouTube train, a few years too late, I guess, and other things as well. And then on Instagram or on X or on, again, I am not a pure content creator, as I always say. I'm someone who's involved in the game, who's got skin in the game, and therefore sometimes there are other things that I need to focus on. But I'm gonna try, and I will try and do that. It's something about Kian contesting for elections ago. Maybe doesn't have the drive to play at the high level. Happy with the money. I don't know. I've not heard about the elections, but he does have the drive to play at a higher level because, Path, if you see, and we just discussed it, that he plays better, and you know, um, so therefore he seems to play better for the senior team than if he plays for reserves. By the way, why Changte didn't play today? Zoravar, I have not seen Changte joining the Mohun Bagan training. I don't know if you've seen that. I've not seen that so far. So I think that is still awaited, and then we'll see. Dada, you need a PR campaign too. Let's crowdfund that, and you need to be more popular. Thank you, Akash. If you want to, you're more than welcome to lead the Arun Foot army and help me, and so therefore, so that's the thing. Further people about misinformation, I'm worried that Bajan followers will pressurize government to allow process. I don't think that will happen. And because, as I said, if India wants to host the Olympics, they will do that. And, and these things. Um, so therefore, let's wait and see. But to me, the sports passport in some sort of form will come. Some pressure has also been created because of the whole stories about origin players representing countries in the FIFA World Cup. So all these stories are helping in that matter, and Olympics is the biggest thing. So therefore, let those guys either. Whether Rami is such a class player. Yes, Blue. I said that last season. You know, him and Effiong as a combo striker and playmaker was quite for the Paris quite good. So therefore, for me, yeah, good. Have it as the opener. I would not have it as the opener of the group stage of that group. I would rather have it as the opener of the I hope you can hear, you can see me. Sorry, there seems to be a problem. Um, yeah, sorry, net was just a little. Um, Given the current Mohun team is a downgrade from last season, don't think so. On Mitra, I don't think it's a downgrade in any form. It has potential. Now let's see what Habas can get out of the team. defender's right thing to move out of Mohun Bagan? Yes, Akash. He, if I look at the list of defenders at East Bengal, sorry, Mohun Bagan or even at East Bengal now, for a young player to come in and play, he would have to be that much better than the others to get an opportunity, and that is the challenge for all of these young players. So yeah, Dijon be starter. Miguel would better with McLaren. Any thoughts? Oh. Um, Depends on what formation they're going to play, as or what system then Perez wants to play. He has options because for me, I mean, ideally would be actually to start with Miguel, Dejan, and McLaren up front. So Drazic, Miguel on the wings, maybe, or yeah, and McLaren up front, or one of them on the wings, one in the center, because you've got Chankte, Liston also as options. You've got Selkovic up there and as well. Alberto at the back. So they've got options. And I think that's the interesting part that Perez will have to be smart. And maybe I start A and then the next one I start B in the matches. I still don't understand what we do with so many players. Yeah, sell. Some of them send out on loan and sell. How do you see in the Portugal? So seem to be trying to build a team. And has the quality. Miguel is, yeah, on a good day is brilliant. Dependon needs to work on his physique. He needs more muscle to be a better defender. Yeah, how do you see Monosur, Miguel, Drazic, Maka combo? As I just said on the throw, if you can play all of them best, and then maybe a Chankte or a Liston on the wing, could be. Akash, very, very right, in my opinion, that Pritham was that kind of a player, right? Pritham Kotal was rock solid, had the quality, and yeah, that's the thing with players, and for yeah, it's just, that the player a little bit. Miguel might be a better finisher overall, but I think Danilo Mendes is most probably the better one to set up things and play, right? So that would be the thing. Unfortunately, get enough respect to Kotal. He was an ideal player. Akash, but that's the thing, right? In Indian football, we don't give enough respect to a lot of players or people who could, would, should have performed for you. That's one of those realities, right? So that's sometimes brutal, but yeah. So that's the reality. Opinion Renaissance today's performance. Ronaldo, he got you the winner. He had another shot on goal, hit the post. Um, Better than what we've seen from Sal in the past, right? So therefore, from that, good to see him run into that space to score that goal. I think that was very, very important, not only for Mohun Bagan, but also for him as an individual, Sal Abdul Samad. So therefore, that was a good one, and yeah, he has to continue to be better, and challenges on Sal to perform, and yeah, it's not getting easier for him. So for him, he has to do better, and as I say, that's the challenge now on him, for him, and hopefully, as I say, he gets better. Miguel turning out to be a Boomus has a lot of issues. I think Boomus was not that much of a loose cannon as Miguel. Again, I might be wrong, but that's my feeling. He's such a hot and cold player, never really picked up pace from his 21-22 season. Simon, because, yeah, that's Indian football, no consistency. Consistency is a big, big word, I know. I use it a lot in the context of Indian football, and Sal is a prime example. Sal on a good day, um, can be a top player, right? So therefore, those are some of the things. And um, yeah, do you see East Bengal making it to finals from here? Looks tough. Honor Mitra looks tough, but yeah, can is still possible. Abbas needs to sort out his team. I think the foreigners will get a little bit more time in the next game. Then we'll have to wait and see what happens. And then when I see players with fitness like Bose or Liston or Manvir, I don't understand. Should I laugh or be sad? Be sad. Akash, laughing doesn't help. Just be disappointed and sad about it. Listen, Taran, in MLS now, was that not what is just signed a contract on the Sweden top division club or the urgent? So do you think it's great things for us in future? Zigzag, yes. Any one of our origin players debuting is good. The question is, when will we be ready to call these players or invite these players? Um, the list is going longer, the growing longer. And if we wait another 2, 3 years, you will find a whole team of most probably first level players, first division players, who would most probably be our potential national team as OCIs. So yes, so that's the thing. Will you stream tomorrow? No, Zorawa, tomorrow I won't be able to stream. So that's sort of a thing. Got Indian Army versus Samaneshwari Sporting Club, and on the other side, Jamshedpur FC versus the Sri Lankan Army. So those two are the two matches tomorrow, but I'm not going to be doing a live stream tomorrow. You spotted any player with that level of fitness in last year's national lot years? No. So, fitness was a problem, is a problem in some sort of way, but again, Indian conditions, I don't want to take that away from the players. Um, but again, yes, it's we need to be better. Generally, I think all of us need to be better. But yeah, those are some of the realities, Akash. And it's again, if I like it, you like it, we like it or not. Those are the things, and it is sometimes very difficult, to say the least. Sorry. Um, right, 2 hours 24 minutes. Once more, the reminder: if I haven't told you, hopefully you've given it a thumbs up. 36 people have. Thank you for that. Close to 10,000 views tonight. Wow, that's also quite a number for first small derby. Sorry with my glitches. Guten Abend, guys. Good evening. Yeah. But when you say guten Abend, that means you're saying good evening as a welcome, not as a farewell. So small reminder on the German part. But yeah, Mohun Bagan win the season's first derby and put themselves onto the map. Um, so therefore, the luck Ravisman looks strong, but needs to work more. Yeah, yeah. It's but Prabhat Lakra has gone back to Jamshedpur. Didn't I read that? Yeah, Prabhat Lakra has gone back to Jamshedpur. Jamshedpur have been signing a lot of players, even though there's no clarity of why Tata Steel has not cleared their participation fee. Is a very weird one. So therefore, that's that. And yeah, so I'm going to use to think more same peer players are going to play in top 10 some best leagues and what's so said. Then the problem is the coach and management of national team. It's not the management; it's the coach. If the coach is sorted, all the other things will be sorting itself. So to me, things will be sorted. Zigzag. The thing is, give it time for the government of India to clear the sports passport. It is in work. It's not done, as I've said. A lot of people have been saying, "Oh no, no, it will come, it will come, it will come." No, I've done that video where I clearly stated, you know what, it will take a little bit of time. Give it time, and if we don't wait, it is going to be a problem. And that's why I'm saying it again and again. Please give the whole thing time. Right? Give it time. It's taking longer than we would like to. Yes. Uh, um, yeah. So um, it's going to happen, and already now we have players who would make us better. But again, there are certain players, and again, I'm sure that there are players who are half Indians who we don't even know about because the names don't sound Indian. We've never thought about them as Indians. So therefore, Let the program start, and then we'll talk about those things. Why exactly Kota was dropped and never called back? Akash, no idea. At the time, I think it was performance, but again, he was dropped, and yeah, some a coach thought that others were better, and therefore Preetham was not called again. And yeah, reality of things, because I think what I've learned a few months ago in London is that it's about also about character of the players of wanting to play for the national team. And there's some players who we would most probably say, hey, he needs to be there because he's good this way, that way. But then if they're not capable of handling international pressure, then Preetham was always one of those guys. That's why I said what I said, and I stick to it. Gurpreet, Sandesh, Rahul Beke, Changte is sort of a core which you need to build on and build. Let's see. Talent's like, it's kind of getting old. We can't wait for Akash. It's not what you can't wait or I can't wait. I'm just being realistic. I've waited for 25 years. We've lost a lot of players. We could have seen a Michael Chopra, a Harmeet Singh, and others play for us, right? Um, we could have had a Danny Bath in his prime playing for us. We've lost all of that. So therefore, if I've already lost 25 years because governments and the FF, not forget the FF, don't blame on the FF. It's the political class in India who have messed this up, and it's not XYZ parties, all of them. So that's the thing. Michael Chopra was in ISL too. Yeah, he was, but that was past his prime. Michael's prime was in the late 2000s, right? And he came in 2014, 2015, 2016. So yeah, he came. Yeah. Will you do stream now forever today? No. Shwam, today I won't be doing a stream tonight. Um, this is therefore when I do a watch along, I won't. I'm doing a stream tomorrow night. Tomorrow night, 9:45. I'll surely do a stream where we can talk about things, and yeah, and that will surely be happening tomorrow night. Right, 2 hours, 28 plus minutes, nearly 2.5 hours of this first derby of the 2025, 2000, sorry, 2026, 2027 season. Sorry, we're already a little further down the road. Thanks everybody for joining in. As always, please give it a thumbs up. Please share with others if you haven't. Subscribe to Arun Foot. Again, we are crawling towards the 5,000 mark. I need your support. Without you, I cannot grow. Watch my short videos. Did something today on Jurgen Klopp, yesterday on the if the World Cup has any positive effects for Indian football. Do watch those others as well. Yeah, this is video 1,560 already, and on supporting Indian football. That's what I would say. Catch you tomorrow. Good night, everyone.